Y'all, yeah, it is.
Hold on,
But
what we
no,
hard times? I missed this right here. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
hello. I
Or
heard that quote long ago. Ooh, you better know it.
well, now y'all know what
Ooh,
I was talking about.
ooh, you better know it.
I like
Ooh,
that.
you. And that's why, think about it like this is why we hustlers. This is why we. You see that quote right there? I love that quote. See, Bill, I knew that quote a long time ago. I knew that quote a long time ago, and I'll be trying to stretch it to people. P, you get what that saying? Look at you. Look at who you are right now, P. Look at the man that you are. You know what I'm saying? Look at
Yeah.
the man that you are, and look at how you look at where you come from. Me
Mm,
too, right? Look at the heart, the humble beginnings,
that's what
to
I'm
the
talking.
way you start hustling. You want to go out there and get it,
Mm,
right? So when you start looking at your kids, when you start looking at your kids, right? Your kids may not work as hard, right? I ain't gonna say your kids. I ain't gonna say my kids. I'm gonna say my kids is a little sheltered, but
yeah.
I'm teaching because we teach, right? So the more we give them, and this is I'm guilty of it. I work so hard that I try to give my kids everything that I didn't have. I try to give my kids everything that I can. When we wasn't getting PlayStations and all the Jordans, I didn't grow up with that. If I wanted some shoes, I was out there trying to hustle to get it. I didn't get my first pair of Nikes until I was in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a hard time. My kids don't know nothing but Jordans. One day I had my son in the store and he cried because I couldn't get him no Jordans. But I'm
Hmm.
trying to buy shoes for everybody.
Hmm.
So, and then I gave him stuff and I listened to the way my son start acting. I'm watching and listening to how he talking and how he acting. I'm like, nigga, who raised you? Because I
Hmm.
know the fuck I didn't teach you this, right? And when I'm watching him, I'm like, damn, this little nigga. What's gonna happen is the kids get spoiled. We spoil our kids, and then they're gonna not have the same work ethic that we have.
Hmm.
So their kids are going to have to work harder because they're going to end up. I'm not saying our kids in particular, but this generation. I'm gonna use this generation of kids. Their kids are going to suffer because their mentality is not going to be the same as ours was. So
Hmm.
what's going to happen with their kids? Their kids is going to become the hustlers
Hmm.
who's going to go get it. You get what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
keeps
that's
on.
right.
It's a recurring cycle. What we do for ours, we spoil too much, so ours become weak. Then theirs is going to become strong. I love that saying right there, man. I see it. I see it. I watch like damn. This is why we are who we are, Pete. This is why it's so important what we do and how we act and how we move and the standard that we say, just like you've been stressing that moral compass, what we stand on. This is why this shit is so important because the next generation, our kids, we didn't provide it so much. It's like we giving suburb. We raise suburb. Hood babies raise suburb kids. Watch how this shit ties together. Niggas that come from the hood raise suburb kids because we want to get away from the hard times. So we try to provide a better life so our kids or this generation become fake as shit, snakes, right? And then they're going to create hard times for their kids because they're going to go out here willy nilly throwing their wieners and hoochie mamas around. They're going to do this shit. They're going to create a whole bunch of kids that they don't want to take care of, right? And then these kids is going to be suffering. And guess who's going to end up raising these kids? Me and you, the parents that we're going to be raising kids that ain't even our kids.
There, I do have to say, there is a world where you can teach a child both.